What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the greatest city in the world, Wrestling City. As always, I am your host. I'm Taylor, and today I am joined by the one, the only heel, Quan. What is going on, man? How you doing?
Doing good, bro. How about you, man?
I'm doing pretty good as well. So you actually just hit me up about an hour ago, talking about how you want to discuss all the discourse that is going on social media. So why don't you let everybody know exactly what you're wanting to talk about?
Yeah, but I ain't gonna lie, y'all. First things first, thank you, my boy Taylor. Thank you for letting me come on the show. This is my first time doing something like this, so I apologize if I'm a little nervous, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, we got a lot to talk about. We got WrestleMania 41 coming up, Raw on Netflix coming up. If Rock, well, we trying to see if Rock's gonna work Mania. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, bro. It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna have a great conversation. Now, following your lead. So let's hop into it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could just start off with the whole Raw on Netflix debate going on. There's a huge debate going on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, about which match should be the main event. There's two options. Obviously, you've got CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, and then you got that tribal combat match against Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. And if I'm being honest, I would much rather see CM Punk and Seth Rollins main event that show. I just feel like that's the bigger match, in my opinion. I get that, Roman Reigns, no matter what, he's more than likely going to be in the main event. But he's going up against Solo Sikoa, and Solo Sikoa, let's just be real with ourselves. Roman Reigns is going to carry in that match.
1,000%.
I mean, that's just the fact of the matter here. But, which match do you think should main event?
All right, I'm going to be completely honest with everybody. Y'all know, huge Roman guy. But if we put the biases aside, bro, we undoubtedly need to see CM Punk versus Seth Rollins main event. I've been more intrigued with that story over the course of the last year plus now, especially since Punk first returned to WWE. I've been wanting to see them two go at it, especially with their, real life hatred for one another. So it's like that makes for more of a compelling story. I feel like they will have a better work rate. The match will overall be better. And we possibly could get that Seth heel turn. I've been waiting for a Seth heel turn ever since he dropped the title. So I'm ready to see that. That opens up a new story with KO, Drew, and Seth, possibly forming a new Shield-like group as well. So, that main event, that match, it is undoubtedly that needs to close the show. Give them the main event. You already took the man's main event at Bad Blood. Y'all took Punk and Drew from main event at Bad Blood just to have Rock come out. So let's do the right thing and have him and Seth close out the show.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of discourse about that, whether that match at Bad Blood should have main evented. But, as always, The Rock had to come in and take CM Punk's main event spot. I wouldn't be surprised if he did that again on Raw on Netflix, because I've seen people say that, The Rock's going to show up after that after that Roman and Solo Sikoa match, or in the middle of that match. So who knows? It's pretty much it's all up to The Rock at this point, whether he's going to, when he wants to show up, where he wants to show up. So
yeah, 1,000%. If only way that Solo Sikoa should ever main event a show is if somebody big is returning. Now I'm not trying to try Solo, because I've grown to appreciate the work that he's been putting in over the course of the last month or two. I feel like he's really grown a lot with his character, and instead of being like this carbon copy of Roman and being this Timu version of him, he's found his own little lane of being, kind of comedic in a way, while also trying to develop more of a serious tone. And I really appreciated that. But if we're being real here, I say the last week or two, especially with Roman not being on SmackDown, and Punk and Seth showing up every week on Raw and furthering their storyline. Like, come on, we this is the direction they need to go. They know this is the direction they need to go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that same boat as well. Solo Sikoa, I mean, ever since that first SmackDown after WrestleMania, he's really stepped up. In-ring wise, I mean, he still has a few things that he can work on, but when it comes to his character work, like on the mic, I mean, a complete different whole like character work from him. But he's been killing it. Now, whether or not he should be in the main event, I still just don't think that should be the case. But
yeah,
I mean, let us know in the comments down below what you guys think should be the main event for that match. I would love to see what you guys have to say about that. But I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it for the Raw on Netflix. So then you got a whole nother discussion for WrestleMania coming up in April. You got Roman Reigns. Who's he going to face? Is he going to face CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa? I've heard people throw out the name Drew McIntyre. Just a whole list of competitors that he's got to work with here going into WrestleMania. But I mean, what do you see as the two like top matches going in for WrestleMania?
Well, it's like you said earlier, it all comes down to me on what The Rock wants to do. So if Rock ultimately decides, yes, I will work WrestleMania, I feel like he would, or I feel like WWE should pivot and do Rock versus Roman now instead of waiting another year for that. We could also pivot to doing Cody versus Rock, because that's another big one that I definitely wanted to see, and I wanted to be there in person to see. You do Cody versus Rock at the Rumble, especially with it being in February. That gives them a good bit of time from January 6th till when is the Rumble? February 1st, I believe.
Yeah.
To set that story up and pick up where that left off at. So yeah, if Rock does ultimately decide, then yeah, we can do Rock versus Roman at Mania. And if they do pivot to doing Cody versus Rock at Mania, I mean, I still watch it. Don't get me wrong, because I'm going, but I still watch it. But I feel like right now is the perfect time to do Rock versus Roman, especially with Rock's age now playing a factor. We also have the possibility of, Rock, like you said earlier, not doing WrestleMania. So if he doesn't do Mania, Roman does have a list of opponents, as in with CM Punk, which I would undoubtedly love to see, but that's gonna take away what they're building up now with him and Seth, and it's like, so I kind of write him off right now. Then you got Drew McIntyre being the new bloodline hunter, going after Jimmy Uso, taking him out, and then who else he took out? Sammy. He took out Sammy. So then that, taking out Jay, and then ultimately going after Roman, especially with him and Solo forming like this little alliance on SmackDown this past Friday. So, it could really go anywhere, honestly. But I do not want to see Roman versus Punk at this year's Mania. That's all I know. I do not want to see, because that's going to take away from Seth and Punk's main event. That undoubtedly needs to close night one for a fact.
I mean, yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that. See, I was probably in that same boat as you, where they would do Rock and Cody at the Royal Rumble. But I mean, after what happened in the Saturday night's main event, where Cody Rhodes beat Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens after the show took him out of that package pile driver, I think we'll get that one more time at the Rumble. Kevin Owens this past Friday on SmackDown, he cut a little vignette where he had the winged eagle on his shoulder. He's now going around everywhere. He was at that Raw on Netflix kickoff show with the winged eagle title, claiming that he's like the real champion. He's all over social media talking about how he's the real champion and that he appreciates being our champion.
Oh man, that within itself, it caused so much of an uproar when like people were saying, "Oh yeah, like Kevin did the right thing, taking Cody out," and
Dude, I'm loving it.
I'm absolutely loving it. Kevin Owens as a heel, bro, give that to me all day, every single day out of the week. I don't care, bro. Like, he has single-handedly revived his character. Because I feel like after him and Sammy kind of split and went their own ways, you know, with Sammy going to Raw and him staying on SmackDown, he was starting to get a little stale for me. You know, I love Kevin Owens, but it was like he was missing something. Like, he was missing something. And this heel turn has put his stock right back up where it needs to be.
Oh, yeah, for sure. 100%. I mean, you know, they could do hell, I don't know how long exactly they're going to have Cody Rhodes stay out. If I had to guess, he will be at that first Raw on Netflix, and then that might set up a match between him and KO at the Royal Rumble. We also have Randy Orton. You know, I mean, he hasn't been seen since, like 2 or 3 weeks before Survivor Series when Kevin Owens took him out. Maybe Randy Orton comes back, wants to go after Kevin Owens. Maybe he wants to go after, you know, Cody Rhodes. Maybe Kevin Owens convinced Randy Orton that, hey, you know, this guy isn't what you think he is. Right. Cody Rhodes did cheat. He was pretty much the heel. He was the heel that night. I mean, I'm just calling it how I see it, man.
Hey, call it how you see it, man.
I mean, that's what happened. He used the chair when he didn't have to. He was the heel, and I'll go ahead and say it. Hashtag Kevin is right.
Kevin, we stand with you. We stand with you, bro.
I stand with Kevin Owens. I mean, if you guys follow me on Twitter, I've been advocating for Kevin Owens has to win. I mean, I was advocating that he had to beat Cody Rhodes at Saturday Night's Main Event. Obviously, that didn't happen. So, I would love to see him be the one to dethrone Cody Rhodes. If it's not him, then it has to be Randy Orton.
Yeah. Now to touch back on that point that you made earlier about Cody and Randy potentially facing off against one another. So to go back to earlier when we was talking about, you know, if Rock does show up, or if he doesn't show up, do we possibly get Cody versus Randy at Mania? Like, do we get that? And where does that leave guys like, let's say Roman and like Rock doesn't show up? So where does that leave everybody else to do? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. I really want to see Randy take the belt off Cody. And if not Randy, then we got Kevin, who's killing it right now. We got Drew McIntyre, Drew is operating on an insane level right now. Like,
he's been on an insane level this whole year.
I'm talking about from top to bottom. That CM Punk injury at the Royal Rumble this year did so many great things for both of them that we most likely would not have seen this year if that injury didn't happen. Who knows who or what would have happened at Bad Blood? Like, would we have eventually got that matchup at Bad Blood? And then, like, all the little factors that played in, like with Punk being on the sideline and, you know, doing little dirty stuff to Drew, costing him the World Heavyweight Championship, like doing stuff like that, like nitpicking. Like, who knows where that story would have went if that injury didn't happen?
I mean, you know, we probably would have gotten, you know, CM Punk and Rollins at this year's Mania, WrestleMania 40, but the injury happened, and that right there, just all the plans that they had just blew up in smoke. Yeah. And I mean, credit to them, credit to Triple H, credit to the rest of that creative team, just to pivot like that, just to give us one of, if not the greatest storyline in the Triple H era ever since he's taken over.
Facts. Yeah, Drew and Punk, like, their feud this year has been my favorite thing to watch. I didn't miss a single second. Like, even when I was at work, I made sure to prop my phone up, you know, hide it just a little bit so the cameras don't see me, so I can watch Drew versus Punk, like, in some sort of fashion. Like, I always made sure to keep up with what they had going on, because it was like, it brought out the best of those two. It showed that Punk can still go in the ring. I know a lot of people doubted that when he came back to WWE, showed that he still got it in the ring. He still got it on the mic. And it showed that Drew has the capability to elevate and become, you know, main event level, top superstar in the company type of guy. So that within itself, man, like, man, they killed it this year. They absolutely killed it.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm still enjoying his work now. Now that he's on this,
yeah,
he's got this bloodline hit list where he's attacked Jey Uso, he's taken out Sami Zayn. Next on his list, it looks like it's Jimmy Uso. I mean, he did have a little promo with Solo Sikoa where he said he did not forget what happened in 2022 when Solo Sikoa cost him the title at Clash of the Castle that year. So it's just crazy that happened 2 years ago, and here we are about to enter 2025. You know,
right?
It's long-term booking.
Right.
That's what makes professional wrestling what it is. Great storytelling and just great booking all in general.
And to touch on that with Drew and, you know, Solo costing Drew the title at Clash at the Castle. You know, I heard somebody, or I think I read a tweet earlier. I can't remember what it was, but they were saying that Roman has been like this Thanos like figure over the WWE, where even though he's not directly involved with a storyline, his actions have caused like this ripple effect to have an effect on, you know, guys like Seth, Drew, Sammy, Jay, Jimmy, like Kevin Owens, yeah, like
Randy Orton.
Up so many different stories. And this is why I kind of like I sit back and I read the tweets when people say like, you know, the Bloodline story isn't one of the hottest stories in wrestling and stuff like that. You know, I don't really comment on stuff like that because it's like, you know, it's all opinion based. But we do have to acknowledge to an extent that what the Bloodline have done has set up, you know, multiple stories to, you know, come to life. And we're intrigued in all these stories, even if they're not directly involved in them. In the stories right now, like, the effects of that storyline have brought these stories to life. Like Kevin Owens going after Cody Rhodes the way he is now is, you know, kind of like a PTSD effect from the stuff that happened with the Bloodline. He's like, oh, you tagged with Roman Reigns. Well, I see you as a traitor now. And, you know, he's going at Cody Rhodes. And it's like, oh, man, they're giving us so much great television. Like, the guys in the main event are killing it right now. Like, they are all killing it right now, man.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see when Randy Orton comes back and what he has to say about this whole, you know, Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes debacle going on right now. I mean, once you add him to this, it's just going to make that story 100 times better.
Oh yeah,
I can't wait. I can't wait for Raw on Netflix. I can't wait for WrestleMania season. It's almost here. It's crazy that this will be my second time covering WrestleMania season right here on this channel. WrestleMania 40 was the first one. It was a fucking blast doing it. I enjoyed every second of it, and I expect WrestleMania 41 build just to be better. I mean, just as good or even better. And we'll be covering it all right here in the greatest city in the world, Wrestling City. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. You know, I mean, I just can't express how much I enjoy doing this. Just being able to come on here, talk about the thing that I love, wrestling. I mean, it's been something that I've enjoyed talking about since I was in high school, and now I get to come on here, do it on a platform like YouTube. It's been a blast, and I appreciate all the continued support that you guys continue to show me and Bryler. You know, we just can't thank you guys enough. And I appreciate Quan coming on here with me today. Hopefully we can get more content out together for you guys. I really enjoyed this conversation. So I appreciate you reaching out to me and wanting to do this, man.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. It was a blast, man. Shout out to you guys. Keep doing your thing. Y'all are killing it. And, yeah, all y'all tuning in right now, man. Make sure y'all subscribe, man. Just subscribe, man. It's free. $3.99, man. You get no better than that. Subscribe.
Yeah, make sure to like this video and let us know in the comments down below what you guys think will be the main event of Raw on Netflix, WrestleMania main events, all that good stuff. And make sure to like this video. And well, man, we'll see you guys next time right here in the greatest city in the world, Wrestling City.